Hey guys, we're sitting out here. We're going to do a quick little video over staying hidden from deer and covering deer vision there and what you need to consider. We'll first start off with hunting out of a tree stand, and we'll start off with elevation. I don't believe that there's really a perfect height for any individual to climb up in or have your hang on present, but what you've got to definitely consider on each stand location is where those deer are going to come from. So you definitely don't want to be on the same level as them, so you definitely want to be higher, and I'd say try to be about 12 to 15 foot higher than when that deer is going to peak. That may be a little bit harder said than done, or easier said than done, but that's definitely things to keep in mind. And then as you get into that tree stand location, you definitely want to ensure that your backside is blocked there so the deer can't skyline you. One product that we do use is the cover belt here. Basically what this is there's four little holders here. You wrap that around the tree and you ratchet strap that thing down, and basically if it was on the back side, you could put four branches on in these little holes, and that creates cover for you. So you can get that from Hunting Pioneer, I believe is what the company is, and I use quite a few of these and been really impressed. I keep one of these in my saddle hang-on stand or bag, but that's a good thing to keep in cover. So always keep that in mind. If you find yourself in an area where those deer can skyline you, then that tree belt that cover belt will really work out good. And then as you progress into during that rut period, the pre-rut period, I do have a decoy back here. Just thought about this, is trying to keep those deer isolated on something other than maybe where you're at. So there's different strategies you can use for decoys, placement and everything, but that's another item there I did want to bring up looking back there. Now when it gets into your blind covers, so I've got blinds that all move around, the rednecks that are on the trailers, but I've also got blinds that are set stationary there, and ground blinds as well there, that pop-up ground blind. But the thing to keep in mind there is if you're going to have a stationary blind that's not going to have a cover around it, especially with your ground blind, try to get those things in there within a month prior to, at least 2 weeks prior to you hunting. That way those deer can get acclimated to that. And then any blind that you hunt in, try to wear black, and if you have a window atmosphere when you're hunting, keep those windows shut until you're ready to actually take the shot. As long as you've got visibility, just look through those windows. That way, if for some reason you drop something or you're moving around, those deer, if they won't be able to hear you or see you as well as what it is. I've got one example up there in Kansas. We've got a hut that I've hunted out of for, I think we put it in there at 90, 97, 98 a year, and I've got a few does that will actually be about 100, 150 yards directly east of me, and when that sun sets, they will look into that, up in that blind window, which is about like this, and they will look and see if there's any kind of movement there inside that blind. So 2 years ago, I got a little bit smarter when I started really isolating what those deer were doing, and I tinted those windows out. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind there is, I've got a Banks blind that I really enjoyed hunting in there. I think it's a Banks Phantom 3. It's got the tinted windows. Really like that. And then the rednecks that we run, we've got the Gilly blind, which is going to be your open atmosphere, which is a zipper system. And again, that's going to fold down, so you're not really going to have a window per se, but you do have the curtains you can put up in there. But if you don't want to do that, you definitely, regardless of the curtains or the windows, wear black or something extremely dark. That way, as those deer approach, you just blend in that back dark setting, and it will really work out well for you. And then again, keeping those windows shut when you have them. If you can tint them, then that's great. If you can look at your blind inside there, or have your friend or have somebody jump up in there and you look for yourself, or even running the trail camera, look up in that blind when that window's shut, and see if you can see yourself moving, or see your friend moving there, and then try to figure out, how can I make this a little bit better. I think that will work out very well. So hopefully this helps you guys out, understanding the deer sight and their vision. It's those deer will silhouette you up in that tree so fast that, with that backing, that cover belt system, if you don't have a great backing, is a great alternative. And then once you get into, the blind like settings, make sure you always wear the black there. You're keeping those windows shut when you can. You're getting those blinds established as quick as you can, getting cover around them. That way you can get in and out if that's available. And that should help you out a lot on deer visibility, not only in the tree stand, but also on a ground or a raised blind like setting. So I appreciate you guys liking the video. Hopefully you guys are getting out there in nature. And like always, best luck on your upcoming hunt.